Give all my vibrational thoughts, love, energy to Jabari's queen, Pam, his children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and his sister, along with the entire family, for your peace and comfort during this time of great sadness and pain. I actually brought my own timer because I don't want to keep the program moving because I got a lot to say. My relationship with Jabari started at work. At the post office, Jabari had a paper called Jabari Speaks. I got a copy, and that immediately got my attention. Because of that, me and Jabari became lifelong friends. First, I want to start our libations to the universal oneness of divinity, the creator, the giver, and the creator of life, the one who knows, the perfect one, the eternal one, the great all. We come to you to say thank you for all the good that you brought in our path. We thank you for allowing us to travel along this life's journey and have these life experiences, both the good and the bad, as I am assured that all things work for the good in your divine creation, and our existence and our lives' journey is preparing us to join in divine unity with all of creation, continually evolving in higher levels of spirituality for all eternity. For this, our Lord, we say thank you. We come to you to ask for forgiveness for all the wrong that we've done, to ask you to remove all evil from our minds, our body, our souls, and our spirit. We ask you to place our mind and our feet on the path of righteousness. We ask you to surround us with your divine protection and give us your divine anointing. We ask you to lift our spirits to the highest levels of spirituality and allow us to become one with divinity. To you is my help. I say and I pour libations. You can pour it right there in the ground, man. Just pour it in the ground.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Good job.
Hey, good job.
Good job. Come back.
We pour libations to the unborn, those that are yet to come, and to make their contribution to our struggle for liberation and a higher level of humanity and spirituality, and bring good back into the world. We call upon the universe to bring forth those who will come with their divine gifts and join our struggle for liberation to help us restore our culture, restoring decency in our music, our dress, language, habits, and behavior. Our unborn, come forth, bring with you your divine gifts, join our struggle for total liberation, and help us restore our respect for our queens, kings, elders, and ourselves. Our unborn, please come forth, bring with you your divine gifts, join our struggle for total liberation, and help us restore love for ourselves and for one another. Our unborn, please come forward. To you we pour libations. Now comes the part I was telling you about. We want to call Jabari. We want to bring him here. We want Jabari to join us, that we celebrate and honor him in our memories, in our hearts, in our lives, in the lessons that he taught us, for us to continue his legacy and make a living proof that Jabari brought good into this world through us. So when I raise my left hand, what's going to happen? When I raise my right hand, what's going to happen? Who's going to say that? When I raise both hands, what's going to happen?
We're going to say his name together.
Ashe.
Adamu.
Jabari killed.
Loud. You want him to hear us.
Adamu. Adamu.
Jabari
Kill.
Louder!
Adamu.
One in the hills.
Kill.
Adamu. Jabari kill. Adamu. Jabari kill. Adamu. Jabari kill.
Blue.
Jabari kill.
There you go.
All right.
Jabari is here with us.
Yes, he is.
That's just like the Lord.
All right.
Now, but I'm hanging in the tree.
There we go.
Hanging around.
That's Jabari right there. See, you never cooperate.
Just like you.
Not just like that. Right there. You'll never do what people tell you. She's got to find you.
Messing around over there.
She's right there, tree right there. You got to find your own last tree right there.
One over there.
That's Jabari right there.
I'm sorry, I'm supposed to pass out
That's
the
Jabari's spirit right there.
pledge to the flag. Can somebody help me do that?
What is it?
And please pass out the Black National Anthem, then we can begin our program. I'll start it off by telling you all what Jabari meant in my life, how he helped me along my life's journey, how I was inspired to become a better man because of this man that did live.
Take yours. I'm trying to get two out.
Yeah, she can put that down there. We're good with that. You're all right. Hey, you did a swell job, man. You did a swell job, really.
Thank you. Langston, you want to come lead us in the pledge?
Yeah, you can go back.
Okay, we ready? Yeah. Okay, put your right hand up, brothers and sisters, queens and kings.
Here's to this flag of mine,
Here's to the flag of mine.
the red, black, and green,
The red, black, and green.
hopes in its future bright,
Hopes in its future bright.
Africa has seen.
Africa has seen.
Here's to the red of it,
Here's to the red of it.
great nations shall know of it,
Great nations shall know of it.
in time to come.
In time to come.
Red blood shall flow of it,
Red blood shall flow of it.
historians shall write of it,
Historians shall write of it.
great flag of mine.
Great flag of mine.
Here's to the black of it,
Here's to the black of it.
400 millions back of it,
400 million back of it.
whose destiny depends on it,
Whose destiny depends on it.
the red, black, and green of it,
The red, black, and green of it.
oh flag of mine.
Flag of mine.
Here's to the green of it,
Here's to the green of it.
young men and women shall dream of it,
Young men and women shall dream of it.
face shots and shells for it,
Shots and shells for it.
maidens shall sing of it,
Maidens shall sing of it.
waving so high.
Waving so high.
Here's to the whole of it,
Here's to the whole of it.
colors brought and pole of it. Pleased is my soul with it,
Pleased with my soul with it.
regardless of what is told of it.
Regardless of what is told of it.
Thanks to God for giving.
Thanks to God for giving it.
Great flag of mine.
Great flag of mine. All right.
One of the young sisters want to lead us in the Negro National Anthem.
I didn't hand out all of it. Only hand out some.
Shut up.
Can we get any volunteers? Beautiful voices, Gloria. Help your brother out. Help your brother out. I'll come to you.
Y'all was singing at the
Here we go.
I can read it. Not good enough. Yeah. Y'all might
You ready? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
That was what I could have chosen better singing.
Beautiful.
Now we go into our remarks, what Jabari meant to us, what he did that inspired us, what made us the people we are, and why we miss him so much today. I'll start it off. Feel free to come up.
Very good.
Y'all be safe.
Take care.
All right.
I had something that I wanted, little notes that I wanted to keep up with. Oh, here we go. Got it. Thank you for your patience. As I was saying, I met Jabari at work. We became instant friends immediately. Once I read his paper, Jabari Speaks, because there's not that many people at that time in the later 70s that thought like me and Jabari. Jabari found out that he was giving programs in his neighborhood. He gave Juneteenth, and Kwanzaa, and Black History, and he had a neighbor named Dennis. Can't mention Jabari without mentioning Dennis. And they were giving programs at the same time my queen and I was giving programs as well in our house. And when me and Jabari found out what each other was doing, we started putting our programs together. And Jabari actually introduced me to Dennis. Dennis and Jabari had been friends for a long time. And when I met Dennis, it was instant brotherhood, because Dennis was a man after my own heart as well. And we went on. We met regularly. We talked on the phone often, all three of us. We covered every area of human interest, especially conditions of black people, and our true history done by our own research and study. We was like I guess you could say, a brotherhood trinity. Jabari was the oldest. Okay, y'all gonna have to hear me then.
Yeah.
Okay, Jabari was the oldest member of us all. He was like the father. Dennis was the youngest. He was like the son. And I provided the spiritual component because of my information and study in African spirituality. So it was kind of like a perfect fit. We founded all our principles on what we were taught by our ancestors. And Jabari was a very deep brother. He clowned a lot. The brother was smart. The brother, he brought me into knowledge of Juneteenth. Matter of fact, he gave me that flag. And that flagpole in front of my house, it wasn't always there, it was in front of my window. Jabari helped me dig the hole to put that flag down. And I can't say for certain, but we had some Mexicans that cut the grass in our neighborhood. And I refused to hire Mexicans, so I hired blacks. I looked out the window one day, I saw these Mexicans surrounding my black lawn keeper. So I went out there to find out what was going on. And they told him that this was their area. No Mexican lived in this subdivision. After I confronted them, some mysterious way my flagpole was torn down. So I planted it in front of my Ring camera. Now, but Jabari was instrumental in bringing that to me in my life. Him and Dennis and I, we talked about everything. Now, the interesting thing about Jabari, he was point blank. He didn't sugarcoat nothing. He called it what it was. If it was a rat, he called it a rat. Dennis was a little bit more, I guess, diplomatic. He wouldn't call it outright a rat. He would just define to you what a rat was. And I was a little bit more diplomatic. I didn't call it a rat. I didn't define a rat. I identified those characteristics in the rat and saw those characteristics in myself and identified with the rat. So whoever we was talking about, I could identify with them, but I also could tell them what I did to overcome that part of me that was bound to be a rat. So that's how our conversations went. And we talked all the time about everything, probably about you all and you. But it was all done in love, and they were very critical. Jabari was the most critical of me. And it was in love, though, because him and I went back and forth with the language. Jabari used some, in my opinion, unhealthy descriptions of certain items and certain things.
Really?
And I would confront him because we both studied out the same book. And we both understood the purity and what Madu Necha means, divine speech, to call things into being by being divinity in the way you presented yourself, not just the way you spoke, what you thought, what you said, and what you did was supposed to line up. Jabari would take side steps every now and then, and then we would have a confrontation. And you know how he responded to me? He said, "I'm your elder." And he had a certain way to take serious situations and find some humor in everything. When we was on that edge, he would always bring us back. And that's what I remember about Jabari. He made sense on a practical level. I'll give you some examples of that. I have a cousin. My wife knows him. We called him Moby. When he was a little boy, we called him man. He was a great little cousin. But he grew up and he got caught up in the culture. And he would always come to me for money. And I would always, because of my love for my cousin, I would always accommodate him. Dennis told me, he said, "Well, Jabulani, what you got to learn, that you are a giver. And givers, they don't have any limits. But you got to set limits because takers don't have any." But Jabari would tell me, "Well, Jabulani, there's nothing wrong with helping your loved ones. There's nothing wrong with doing anything good." So they were both in conflict, but it made sense what both of them were saying. Jabari had a heart of gold. I mean, he wasn't that tough like he wanted to be. You could come to him for anything. He had a forgiving heart. Through him, I learned how to forgive. I had conflicts in my own family, And he would intervene. And he would tell me, Jabari, that's always going to be your child. You know, just because she did that today, that ain't how she feels about you. She's going through something. So look beyond that and still love her and bring her in and do what you can to help her. And he had my ear because he made so much sense. Dennis would say, he'd say, let him go. So we had these kind of conversations with each other. And it meant so much to me because they were like my rock. Whenever I was up against anything, I could always call them brothers. And they would always walk me through it, no matter what I was. Sometimes I was right, and they let me know that. Sometimes I was wrong, and they let me know that. But it felt good to talk to brothers who shared the same vision that I have. Because there's not that many of us out here. You know, we felt like a minority. A lot of things we couldn't say publicly. A lot of things we couldn't say. Jabari would say what he wanted to say. But even he had some restraints and filters because he didn't feel comfortable talking around certain people about certain issues. You know, and I miss those brothers. You know, I miss them dearly. You know, they were like my rock, like I say. Sometimes I go to call them, and then they have to hit me. Neither one of them are here. And when we started, it was this brother named Daniel. He had an Afrocentric store. He sold health care goods and African clothing and books. And Jabari and him hooked up. So Jabari brought Daniel to me. And we started talking. And Dennis came in. And we decided we were going to form a group. Those 4 brothers, we formed the Brothers for Collective Consciousness. And from there, we started putting on programs. Daniel moved to Houston, Texas, so we lost him. And Jabari, as you know, he made his transition. But I ain't gonna never lose Jabari. And then shortly after that, Dennis made his transition. So I don't have no more of those brothers. I'm the only one left, you know. I'm the last founding member of the Brothers for Collective Consciousness. And I kind of draw strength from those times that we were together because they saw me in my weakest and they made me strong. And we pulled together. I have never had that kind of unity with black brothers like I had with those brothers. And we never, when we hung up, we was talking to each other, we never said goodbye. We would always say, I love you, my brother. Hotel. Jabari, and that's another thing. I'm calling him Jabari. And they used to call me Jabari. But Jabari, Dennis, I love you, my brothers. Hotel.